Hello students, I am Raghavan Kumar Singh, faculty of US Academy and Institute. Today we will discuss class 8 Civics 4 chapter Understanding Laws. In this chapter we will discuss about the laws. Do laws apply to all? How do new laws comes about? Unpopular and controversial laws. Now, what are laws? The system of rules which a particular country or community recognizes as regulating the actions of its member and which it may enforce by the imposition of penalties. Do all laws apply to all? As there should be no arbitrary exercises of power in independence. India, therefore, as there should be no arbitrary exercises of power in independent India. Therefore, the member of constituencies, assemblies, institutes several provisions in the constitution that would establish the rule of laws. All persons in independent India are equal before the law. All laws apply equally to all citizens of the country, and no one can be above the laws. That means the law cannot discriminate between persons on the basis of their religion, caste, or gender. Any crime or violation of laws has a specific punishment. In ancient India, there were innumerable and overlapping local laws which did not apply equally to all. The punishment for the same crime varied depending upon their caste background, with lower caste being more harshly penalized or punished. Members of the Constitution Assembly were agreed there should be no arbitrary exercises of power in independence. To establish a law, they instituted several provisions in the Constitution. The British colonialists introduced the rule of law in India. Historians have disputed this claim as the colonial law were arbitrary. The Indian nationalist plays a prominent role in the development of the legal sphere. The British law of the Sediment Act of 1870 set a perfect example of the arbitrariness. Under this act, a person protesting or criticizing the British government could be arrested without due trial. Indian nationalists began protesting and criticizing the arbitrary use of authority by the British. They began fighting for greater equality and wanted to change the idea of law from a set of rules that they were forced to obey to law as including ideas of justice. By the end of the 19th century, the Indian legal profession began emerging and demanding respect in colonial courts by using laws to defend the legal rights of Indian judges began to play a greater role in decision making with the adoption of the Constitution. Laws for the country began to be made by the representatives every year representatives pass new laws as well as revise the existing ones. Hindu Succession Amendment Act 2005. According to this law, son, daughter, and their mother can get an equal share of family property. Now, how do new laws comes about? The parliament has an important role in making laws. An important role of parliament is to be sensitive to the problems faced by the peoples. The issue of domestic violence was brought to the attention of the parliament and the process adopted for this issue to become law. The Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005 was implemented to protect women from being abused and injured by the male. What is domestic violence? The injury or harm caused by an adult male to his wife. The role of citizen is crucial in helping Parliament frame different concerns that peoples might have into laws, from establishing the need for a new law to its being passed. At every stage of the process, the voice of the citizens is a crucial element, which make the work of Parliament more accessible and transparent. Now, unpopular and controversial laws. Sometimes the Parliament passes laws that turns out to be very popular. Sometimes a law can be constitutionally valid and legal, but it can continue to be unpopular and unacceptable to peoples because they feel that the intention behind it is unfair and harmful. People might criticize this law, hold public meetings, write about it in newspaper, report to TV news channels, etc. In a democracy, citizens can express their unwillingness to accept repressive laws framed by the parliament. When a large number of peoples begin to feel that a wrong law has been passed, then there is pressure on the parliament to change it. If the law favors one group and disregards the other, it will be controversial and leads to conflict. People who think that the laws is not fair can approach the court to decide. The court has the power to modify or cancel laws if it finds that they don't adhere to the constitution. In India, role of citizens does not end with electing representatives. They also analyze the work done by MPs and criticize their actions if needed. Therefore, it is stated that peoples in a democratic country have the right to protest against the unjust laws. It is the extent, involvement, and enthusiasm of the peoples that helps Parliament perform its representatives' functions properly.